Welcome to The Explainer. In this session, we're going to get to the heart of one of the world's most influential faiths. With nearly 2 billion followers, Islam is a massive force shaping our world. But, beyond all the headlines and sound bites, what does it actually teach? That's the big question we're unpacking right now. To really understand any faith, a great place to start is usually with the meaning of the name itself. So the word Islam, it's actually Arabic for submission to one God. Now, that might sound a little passive, but it's not about a weak surrender. It's really understood as an active, conscious choice to find peace by aligning your life with the guidance of one single universal creator. This core belief in one God is really the bedrock of Islam. And as we're going to see, it's a foundation that's actually shared with some of the world's other major faiths. So Muslims worship one indivisible God. And you'll often hear the term Allah, but it's so important to understand that this isn't a different deity. Allah is simply the Arabic word for God. In fact, it's the exact same word used by Arabic-speaking Christians and Jews when they refer to the Creator. And that brings us to a really key concept, the idea of one continuous divine message. See, in Islam, a prophet is a messenger chosen by God to guide people. And Muslims believe God sent a whole series of these prophets throughout history, including figures you'll definitely recognize, like Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. This is a crucial point. These prophets are all deeply respected in Islam, creating this kind of shared spiritual heritage. Okay, so if that's the core belief, then how do Muslims get guidance on how to actually live their lives? Well, this comes down to two primary sources. First, there's the Quran. For Muslims, this isn't just another holy book. It's believed to be the direct, unaltered word of God, as revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. It really serves as a complete guide for everything, from personal spirituality to the principles of social justice. The second source of guidance is the example that was set by the Prophet Muhammad, who's revered as the final prophet. His life is seen as the practical blueprint for the Quran's teachings in action, a real-life model of mercy, justice, and just profound compassion. So this leads us to the ethical principles that are meant to guide a Muslim's daily life. How do these core beliefs really translate into action? At the very heart of the faith are these core ethical goals, but they're meant to be way more than just abstract ideas. They're active principles. For example, the concept of justice isn't just about what happens in a courtroom. It's about creating a fair and just society for absolutely everyone. It's about standing up for the vulnerable, giving to charity, and showing kindness, all of which are meant to be the bedrock of a Muslim's character. So how does Islam guide its followers on interacting with the wider world, especially with people who have different beliefs? This brings us to a foundational principle of respect. There's a core principle right in the Quran that basically says there can be no compulsion in religion. And what that means is that faith has to be a personal, sincere conviction. It's something that just cannot be forced. It has to be a genuine, individual choice. Building on that exact idea, the faith explicitly teaches respect and coexistence. The goal isn't to live in isolation, but to build societies where people from all different backgrounds can live together in peace and with mutual respect. So, if we boil it all down, what are we left with? Well, at its heart, Islam is a path that's centered on one creator. It's guided by a clear moral code, and it's defined by a really profound sense of responsibility to all of humanity. It's a call to be a source of peace and justice in the world. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. What does that kind of responsibility look like in our lives today?